Hey, welcome, soul family. This is Sunset Child on the Sunset Child Out There podcast, the second one that we're doing. It's Hunt for Red October because it's a doozy of a month because October is since the end of, I think it's the end of September. Everything's just been kicking in. So we have an asteroid in the sky. We have UFOs coming down. We have the James Webb telescope telling us that a fleet of galactic beings and ships are coming this way. And that was about, I say about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. So they said they should be here in 3 weeks, and they are light speed. You can't make this up. It's real. Look it up. We've had so many things distracting us. We had the hurricanes, mudslides, flooding, fires in Wyoming. There's also, I think, things going on in all over the world. In the UK, things are happening. In France, I think stuff is happening. And so many distractions that are happening to really scare the people and to stress the people. And it's just I pray and I meditate for them, and we really do, because I think the consciousness of the people are coming, the collective is coming together, and they're really working with humanity to keep them safe. And they're learning that they have more power than they realize. And I think also with the people in North Carolina with the floods and everything, people were getting helicopters from all these different places. People were using their own helicopters to get in and save people. They saved a couple and their baby that the military tried to save. They didn't save them. The man in the private helicopter saved them. Picked up the baby, took the baby to a location. I think the baby was like 4 months old or something like that. And they try to use it. But I think that's the media stuff that they still have control of, and they still can use as propaganda, which is not good. If a lot of people watch TV, you don't want to be watching TV, people. It's a television. It tells you a vision. You don't want to see that. And it's ran by people who are trying to make you see something else and not pay attention to the things around you. It's a programming station. That's why it's programs. But just humanity has risen. The levels of people coming far and wide to help. And no matter what, even if they try to block them to come in, they're still getting in there. They're still doing their best to help their fellow man or woman. They're helping families. They're helping, people are just, and the animals, they're making sure the animals are okay. They're making sure they're saving animals. And I know in Florida, DeSantis is making, this one guy tied a dog up against the fence. I don't believe in that. I don't go for that. And now that family is being charged. So justice has to come. Justice does have to come. And we have to really realize that it's just us now. And don't be afraid. Don't be scared. These agencies were made for us to depend on them. Always remember that. We shouldn't be depending on anybody. We should be able to help each other. And I think humanity needs to do that. And I think we're coming to that because we're in 5D now. We're separating. It's a separation of the earths. And it is time. Reality is ripping open. It's ripping a Band-Aid off. It's coming through. So no matter, you cannot stop what's coming. You cannot stop it. You have to leave things that don't that don't serve you any longer. It's in an old timeline. And then when it comes down to things, it's in an old timeline. It does no longer serve you in the new timeline that you're going into. You are elevating. You are becoming your authentic self. So whatever is leaving you and has to leave you because it does not serve you in your new timeline. So let's get into that's my rant of the day. um, but we have so much to talk about because we have these things in the sky are falling out. They're not galactic. They're the Earth's. So if you see anything in the sky and it's revealing itself, it's usually us. It's our equipment. We have equipment on this Earth. Every planet does. They have their own equipment. We have our own. It was given to us. It was given to us as a gift, but people stole that gift and they kept it to themselves. So the technologies and the knowledge, when they say knowledge is power, it is. Because if you get it before the next person gets it, then you know you have all that knowledge for yourself. But it's up to you. If you're a gatekeeper, it's not going to serve you. Will not serve you in this new world. 5D, it's not going to serve you. If you want to gatekeep, then you stay on 3D. You stay on the old Earth. But you need to learn how to share. Play nice in the sandbox, as my friends would say. But you have to share information. And you got to share it. Gotta share. That's why I share my information. Because it's not my information. It's what's given to me, and I have to give it out. I don't own any of my information. It's a higher power that it comes from. Trickles down. I caught some, and now I got to pass it on. I got to pass it on. You have it's like buying somebody a cup of coffee or helping somebody with their groceries, buying it. They're online and they can't seem to, I don't have the extra $10 on me. I only have this much. You need to be human and you need to be nice. We need to help each other. Do you do it? Do you pay for that? Do you give them that $10? Or do you just go, they should have had that $10? Me, I'm the different person. I'm like, if I have the $10, if I have it, I give it. If I don't have it, I can't give it, can I? But I try to do something I could pass on. So I get a lot of information. So I pass. That's my thing. I got to pass on the information. But all these things that you see with, like October 12th or 13th, the UFO fell. There was a UFO, they said, that fell. They didn't say UFO. They said something fell out of the sky. And it fell over Washington, D.C., which is a perfect place to fall if you really got to think about it, because you have the surrounding states all around it. Virginia, West Virginia, you got North Carolina, you got all these different states that are around it. And they could actually, people that are not far from that can actually see the object fall. And I got a lot of people asking me, calling me, did you hear about that? Did you see that? Did you? And I went, yeah, but that's ours. Because these people don't realize the game is over. The game is over. So they're trying to use methods that would scare you, would stress you, because that's how they play the game here. That's how they keep the masses in line. And they keep us in line with the programming, with all these things that they do. You go to work, there's traffic. Why is there traffic? because the one car in the front is going real slow. Why? Some people would say people get paid to doing that. There's a reason for these programs that happen. And you really have to go, all right, well, what else can happen today? What else can we do? But they stole so much from us, and they really did. They stole so much that now we're going to be getting all of it back to us. And it is going to come back. Everything that was taken from us. And that is our money, our birth certificates, our places that we live. If we own something, do you really own it? Do you really own it? Your cars, your material things. Do you really need them? And do we really own the stuff that we buy? See, knowledge is power, and that's where we get to. The knowledge of things. Do you know what's really happening behind the scenes? I don't think so. I don't think a lot of us know what's happening around the world. I don't think people know what's happening in America. We're coming up to an event. I don't know when it is. I don't know, but I know that there is something brewing. I could feel it. You got to feel it. Something is brewing. Now, if I drop a couple of distractions in your way and I drop, I'm going to drop something out of the sky to you. See, the galactic forces, the Galactic Alliance stated that it wasn't them. Their equipment is up and running, and it is above everything. It's here. It's all over. It's hiding. They're here for the show of a lifetime. They're here for the transition, the transmuting of our planet. We're going into that. We're going to transmute. Everything's going to be cleansed, and everything's going to change. Because we're in supposedly the Matrix. We're in a simulation. We're in a bubble. And really we're in a closed circuit. We're in a bubble. We're in this bubble that you cannot leave unless you're at a certain frequency. And that's what's making the not so nice people that run the globe angry, because they want to get out of here. Because with the transition and the event that's coming, if they are still on this planet when it happens, they will be wiped out. And they don't want to be wiped out. They want to live. Everybody wants to live. Everybody wants to keep moving. But there's going to be a transformation that takes place. And people are tapping into that transformation. And they are. You might have more, might like a superhero. You might be able to tap into things you didn't think you could. Imagine you can fly, you can read people's minds, you can imagine that. It's all been in movies. It's all been in the movies. It's telling you everything that's happening. Everything that's happening. And if you put your mind to it, why can't it? Why can't it? Your imagination is everything. To transmute all these things that are around us. We're ripping through reality. There's a portal opening, a time, a space opening to everyone who wishes it. The UFOs, you have to always remember, they are ours. Soft disclosure when they start telling you everything. Soft disclosure. Let's start. Now they had April, what is it, January, they had the portals open in the mall and everybody was able, that's because the veil is down. The veil is down and we see the unseen now. So you are going to see your little grays, tall grays. You're going to see the aliens the way you see them because now you can't cloak no more. You can't change your frequency no more because the masses are leveling up now. And that's not what they didn't want that. They did not want that. They didn't want that at all because they want to stay hidden. They want to be able to keep pushing the masses and keep stealing from them every day. Keep pushing stuff on them. You got bad foods, you got radiation, you got all these things that they're trying to push on the people. Illness, and illness is a big thing. They want to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing because in illness, there's a business. It's all business, people. It's all business. That's how you got to look at it. It's a business. And we are the cattle. That's why when you hear them, that when I say that words mean stuff, they do. Because when you hear the stock market and it says the herd consciousness, or you'll hear the TV, people will talk about herd consciousness, the herd mentality, listen to herd. What do we call herds? Animals, the cows, herds. You are their property. We are their property because we're part of the herd mentality. When people say these things, listen to the words because those words have meaning. And I think I said before, but they let you know what they have by their words. They let you know. They let you know where you stand. If you get a black law book, it's a black law book. And if you look it up, I never heard of it until I went down the rabbit hole. And I never heard of that book, never knew about that black law book, it's called. I think, where is my book? And it has the true meaning of the words, what the words mean. So if you get a book like that, you can actually see what the words mean. It's crazy. You can actually see what words really mean in that book and where you stand in that book. Because you're property. We are property. That's what we are. We're property. But we're coming out of that though. Nothing. I mean, there's a lot of people. There's a war that's been on for God only knows 7, 8 years now. And it's been a quiet war. Very quiet war. And if they tell you that but they're going to blow us up. Don't believe that. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Nobody wants to blow anybody up. If anything, they'll do what they did in Maui, and they'll do what they did in a couple other places, and they'll use a laser. So get used to that idea too, is they will use a laser and blow things up with it. Look it up. Look it up because there's so many places, there's so many devices that we have been given. And if you were privy to the information, you would know what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Because if I really look at stuff, I don't think we have agencies anymore. I really don't think we have that. I think we have minions coming out and trying to keep it together. That's what I think. These minions come out and no, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. You got policy holders. We call them they're policy holders. They hold the policy of the corporations. These corporations hold things that if you listen to, now I'm a big, I love my country. The Pledge of Allegiance. I cry when I pledge because it's my country. And I never listened to the 2 lines that were in it. And the 2 lines were, I just lost what I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. There's two countries in one. Mind blowing. It's mind blowing. Two countries in one. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands. Crazy. But that's when I went down that rabbit hole, that was crazy. And I found out 1871, England took us back. So the Revolutionary War, this is a fun fact to look up. The Revolutionary War is not taught in England. That's a fact. It's not taught in school, in the English schools. We teach it here, but they do not teach it in their schools. And I get it, because I've spoken with people and they're like, oh no, they wouldn't do that because, that you don't want to bring down the morale of the people. To me, if it's not written in your books, it didn't happen, did it? But that's another rabbit hole. It's just looking at stuff and really figuring out what's real and what's not. And I think that this is going to be a year of everything that you thought you knew, everything you've been taught in school, everything you think is, this is how it goes. This is law. This is what I believe. This is how I believe, because this is what we were taught in school. This is what we're taught in our lives. This is what I think that there will be the most like a ripped off Band-Aid that people are not, that most people will not be able to handle, because everything that they were taught, everything that they learned in their life, passed down from family to family, is a lie. Everything that we know is a lie. And I think that's going to be the big to do. I say, find a conspiracy friend. That was made up by the CIA, by the way, conspiracy, that word, so that you would not bother with that person. You would stay away from that person. But I think that word's going to mean a lot when you find out who your conspiracy friends are. You're going to need them. You're going to need them. And if you have friends that do prepping and all that stuff, get to know them, get to learn from them, learn to do herbal, learn to do these things, get back to the simple things. Make your own food if you can. Do your own thing. Stay out of the grocery stores. Seriously. Because all that's in there is to hurt us. It's hard, but we have to figure our way out of this hole and come out to the new earth, because the new earth is going to be about people helping people and working together. And really, soul family, you're family to each other. They will be more your family than your family is. It's crazy, but we'll all need each other some way, some form. And I'm not even ending this podcast with anything spiritual, but know there's always something out there, something more out there. Thanks for listening.